Hey ARA, we're here in Corvallis, Oregon at B&R store number 1. And if you didn't know, they've got 19 stores. And I want to introduce you to Jeff Mackie. He is the manager here. So good to see you, Jeff.
Yeah, let's go for a tour.
Yeah.
Glad to have you.
Let's go, guys. So this is store 1.
Yes, it is.
And this was started in?
This was acquired by Rick in 1981. This is location number 1.
Yeah, wow, this is great.
This facility, we were just able to rebuild it. We've just marked our first calendar year in the new building. So we're anxious to have you guys and show you around a little bit of what we do. So obviously our retail counter right up front, we've got a couple associates up here eager to take your orders as you walk in. And we've also got a wholesale facility upstairs as well with a couple guys working.
Great, so the guys on here, they can take retail customers. Do they also have a chance to take wholesale calls as well? Is there kind of like, do you delineate between retail only, wholesale only accounts?
Yeah, we've got a pretty unique phone system that allows these guys down here to grab overflow phone calls that if our Q center can't reach them, we'll dump them downstairs to these guys. They're very capable and they can handle it all. So,
and everybody here has the opportunity to transfer any calls to any of the other locations or sales staff?
Sure can. All 19 locations, all calls come into one central ring circle, and it gets divvied up to the next available agent. So it's guaranteed that your phone's always going to be ringing as a salesperson.
That's great. Wow.
It's really nice. So
this is a great retail area, though. You got some seating over here. You got some engines on display. This is Subaru.
Subaru engine there on the floor.
Look at that.
Real
That's what I do.
Here. Real popular in the Pacific Northwest. Always trying to keep the lobby full of tires.
Yeah.
They're always popular. Trying to keep it stocked with all the stuff people want.
So the tires, do you do sets of 4, or do you just do 2s, or is it always going to be a?
We either do singles, 2s, or 4s.
Okay.
Never 3. So
yeah.
We'll inventory them that way, and they fly off the shelf.
That's great. Yeah. So a lot of people sell tires. There's been. Do you do installations here as well, or is it just tire sales?
Kick them down the road to Les Schwab.
There we go. Let somebody else take care of that.
Yep.
That's good. Well, this is good stuff, and I love this. I don't know how many yards I've been in that actually have these antique gas.
Yeah, gas pumps.
There we go. That's what I'm looking for.
They're really neat. Rick treats us very well. He likes a lot of the antique stuff in the auto industry, so it plays a good part in our showrooms. So as soon as we moved in, this was kind of like a gift for reopening at this location. He brought it in from his house, and we get to display it.
That's great. We have one of these at our facility too in Stafford, in Virginia. We have an older one, not a Chevron, but one that's just, it's kind of like a mainstay. It's like everybody goes, this is so great, can I buy it?
Great conversation piece.
Absolutely. So
you gotta have them.
This is good. So this is your retail sales, and
you want to cruise upstairs real quick?
Let's do wholesale too, yeah. Hold on, can I make a joke about your aftermarket radios?
You have a joke?
I mean, like that I don't know, do you sell them actually?
A lot.
Seriously?
Like every single one. That shelf right there is, I mean, we probably put, how many of these do you sell, Wilson? How many aftermarket radios? I mean, all of them.
Every single one that goes up there, there's a guy that if this pile doesn't sell, he'll come and buy them.
You're not joking.
$25 a piece. Everything. Every day.
I just really was hoping I could make fun of something, and I can't.
You'll find something.
I'm just messing. So this is the new place, huh?
This is the call center right here.
Wow.
This is where all the magic happens.
So you've got room for...
We've got room for 12, I believe. We've got 4 up here right now. We're still working on filling the facility, and hopefully we'll centralize some of our calls.
So do you think you'd hire or just bring staff in to kind of have them here under one roof?
Probably both. As we grow, we're probably going to need more people.
So,
at least I hope so.
Yeah, that's always the benefit, what we're supposed to be doing. So I'm looking at some of the sales staff here. I think these workstations are really great because you can still talk to each other. Mm-hmm. Like, it's not like you've got to like try to put you on hold to call, especially when we have these orders where you're getting a call, but it's actually someone else's order and you want to know what's going on with that deal. You got to just look over and go, hey, what's going on?
It does work nice. The closeness of everybody, and typically we've got a couple lead sales guys here that help train the newer guys, so everything's always in earshot.
That's good.
The lead salesperson's able to hear what this guy's doing on his phone call and might be able to interject and give some helpful information. So it is really nice. We also utilize some desktop features. So we have a couple apps that allow instant messaging across the computers, which I'm sure most people use. Yeah. But that's proved to work really well. These guys' phones are ringing off the hook anyway, so the old school way of picking up the phone and calling someone to say, "Hey, I got one of your customers on the line," isn't proactive anymore. It's not helpful. So they use the instant messenger a lot. Obviously, in this location, they just holler across the room.
Absolutely.
But
But as
it's
you
really
start to
nice.
fill this out, like so the next time I come here, it's going to be packed full of people.
Absolutely.
And you're going to probably have a sales manager up here or downstairs or somewhere
Yeah.
close by. But each one of these people, each one of the sales staff here, is it 3 screens? Or we got 4 screens? Or
One
three
guy
screens?
with 4, most have 3.
So that's become so critical in today's age of selling, right? Because you've got your YMS, your yard management system
Yep.
on one screen, then you've got your order production or your route system on the other screen, and you've got your internet browser, and then you try to do you mix them all up depending on how many you want to have
Yeah.
open. And you guys are running PowerLink, Pinnacle, or Checkmate?
We're on PowerLink,
Okay.
and we're also running the Easy Suite software. So these guys are having that set up on one screen. So just like you said, I mean, they've got a screen for everything, and it's a lot going on.
Yeah, no, yeah. So with our guys, we have 2 screens, and I've been pushing to go to 3, but we just haven't done it yet. And
Yeah.
so I like seeing it and working here, especially because we're moving so much to pictures, right? So we take pictures of inventory.
Yep.
I'm sure we'll get there too, but you guys take them as well. So as you're talking to the customer, you're be able to look at the photograph of what you're selling, email it to them if they need to see it, and then you kind of move on with the sale. So you have as much information in front of you as a salesperson, right?
We've also moved a little bit the communication piece up a little bit. We have some texting software as well that we use at our desktop. So email has kind of gone to the wayside as it still is a viable form of communication. Everybody prefers text messages these days.
Oh, so you're like texting the customer from the workstation.
While we're on the phone with them.
Oh,
so
that's
we can
great.
text them pictures. They can text us pictures. They can send a thanks for the phone call. Go ahead and shoot me the ID of your radio, and they immediately text it back. So it's helped us not only create more sales, but it's also eliminated some of the mistakes, the guesswork out of, I think my dot number is that, or I think my ID number is that. We're able to see it live time.
So the customer can then also like take a picture and text it back through the application as well?
Absolutely, yeah.
So it's perfect. So if he's in his car and check an event, it's just boom, hit that, shoot it back to you.
Hey, Mr. Customer, are you driving your car? Obviously pull over, but
Yeah.
if you're with your vehicle, go ahead and take a picture of your VIN or take a picture of the part that you need, the color, the style, the mirror. It's really helped because we get a lot of retail calls. Our retail is we're about a 60-40, I believe, is about our number.
60 being
60 wholesale, 40 retail. So
that's a high retail number.
It's a pretty solid number, and so there's a lot of folks that there's a large education piece that takes place over the phone when these salespeople are trying to ask if your mirror is heated and if it's got a blinker and power and all the options.
Oh,
It can
yeah.
get confusing. So it's nice to have those features. It's been a great tool for the sales.
I bet it reduces your returns. I bet it like cleans up so much of just the end user has a good experience the first time, and you go, I save money on all the return
does.
process,
yes,
right?
it absolutely has. The salespeople really like it. In the beginning, it was, implementing anything new is hard, but now that it's here, I would agree, or I would say that most of our salespeople would say they couldn't do it without it.
So listen, is that proprietary or is that something you went out and found?
Something we went out and found. I think it's accessible to everybody. We've got a phone system that operates those apps internally, so we're just using what's provided to us.
So B&R as a whole, like, so you've got, your 4 here up to 12, right?
Yep.
Down the road. What are we looking at like total salespeople?
I think we're pushing about 60 salespeople total.
Wow, so that's just like maybe a couple more than 12.
Yeah, that's a couple more. So yeah, within the 19 locations, most of those locations have at least one counter salesperson.
Sure.
So that's 19 alone. Some of our larger facilities will have 4 to 6 counter salespeople, and then a lot of wholesale, retail, our call agents.
Yeah.
So quite an assortment of folks and different responsibilities.
And so this is store 1, which is kind of an honor to be the manager of store
Sure,
1, right?
yeah.
But you're in Oregon, you're in Washington, you're in California, and you're in Nevada.
Correct.
I didn't miss any, but that's a lot.
That's
still.
a lot.
That's a lot of miles between all of them.
It is.
So Jeff, can we go check out one of these sales offices, sales areas,
Let's
just to
take
kind
a look at Jordan really quick. And so on Jordan's desktop here, I mean, most of us would sit down and look at the apps and things or the web pages that are open. It'd confuse most of it, but
but Jeff, in going over all the stuff that we have, we forgot to even mention the fact we still have to deal with email, right? So we have our email on one screen plus whatever else you have going on. Then you've got our yard management system in the center screen, as well as the chat box, the text box you've got on this one. But one of the things I've been noticing around some of your sales staff is you've got these. Jordan, I'm going to grab. This is Jordan. He's a great sales guy, right, Jordan? Look at over here, man. There we go. Talk to me about this, Jeff. This is cool.
these were just a piece that we made to acknowledge our salespeople. We do these monthly, and we have multiple different categories. I think if we look at Dakota's, He's got quite a few over there. I don't know if he has any of the other categories, but we do 100K clubs. So any of our salespeople that hit $100,000 in a month, they get awarded that building block. So they stack up as you win.
That is so cool.
We've got them for the top of the rock, which is the person that sells the most in that month, king of warranties, the core collector, just a number of things that we like to track, some of our KPIs, and we like to reward them for doing that. So they're a lot of fun. I think they're enjoyable, and they're just steel that we've cleaned up and have them laser engraved.
No, I think that's one of the things that we don't do. That we do a good job of in telling people sell, or dismantle, but like actually giving them something that is, it's neat. I mean, you can put it on your desk, you take it home, you do whatever you want with it, but it means something to them that they've achieved a goal. Right? So I love this. Now,
it's gotten to be quite a competition. As you can see, they do get stacked up. So Jordan did a great job. Jordan's only been with us a couple months, so this is quite the accomplishment to hit 100K. Looking at Dakota's been with us quite a while. He's one of our top wholesale specialists, and he's got quite a staff, and I think he's missing about 2 of them. But we've also
look at that.
We've
That's
also
cool.
done some previous years' awards.
No problem. Thank you.
These were million dollar club. This was for the year in sales, and these are at our annual sales banquets that we held, and they're just there to award our salespeople for their hard work and dedication. And
yeah, so you do an annual thing just for the sales staff, right? What's your meetings look like for sales?
We do weekly sales meetings, and they're more of a boiler room type pep talk.
Virtual,
get everybody excited.
Yeah, virtual. Okay,
so we'll pick somebody that will lead the meeting, and they'll pick some topics, and really push on that meeting or those topics for that week, and get everybody in. Everybody's got Zoom meetings today are kind of the new thing, and so they've got cameras set up, and everybody will attend virtually and listen. It starts at 7:30 in the morning and ends at promptly at 8 o'clock, and they're on the phones off and running.
So 7:30, and so you guys are open at 8? That's how it works
8
here.
a.m.
So they come in a half an hour early, one day a week or one day a month.
Make it to the pep rally.
And go from there.
Go.
That's great. And is it led by, you said it's a single person that leads it, or it can be multiple different people could lead the meetings?
Multiple people. We'll call on a lot of the salespeople just because everybody will have their own skill set. So Dakota might be really good with some wholesale accounts that he's found like doing business a certain way or communication a certain way, and we want everybody to do it that way. So we might call on Dakota to offer that piece up to all the salespeople, and we'll do that. We'll also call in some of our inventory specialists, some of our QC specialists, or even drivers to give a little insight in their department to the salespeople, so that they better understand where their parts are coming from, or how their customers receive them.
Yeah, because oftentimes we hear, sales is going to drive. Well, actually, inventory, drives sales, right?
Yeah.
But sales is going to drive the rest of the engine. And so salespeople like to sometimes just fling stuff against the wall, and then they make everybody else's life a living disaster.
They make everybody run.
Yeah, I know.
They have, their boots are never dirty. They have white-soled shoes, so we know that. But it's great to have that transparency amongst departments.
Yeah, and when you said you bring inventory in and maybe dismantler or drivers in to kind of talk to them like, hey guys, some things you may not realize and how it's affecting us or how we can do it better, that's huge, because I have not heard people doing that, and I think it's a really great idea. So if I take that, just thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, it's good. So guys, listen, are we doing meetings? This is a big thing that we always talk about meetings. We go to ARA, we talk about how the importance of meetings are, but we often look and go, how do we do meetings? How do we do them and sacrifice time we're not selling? And so at B&R, Jeff's saying that they do it before the half an hour before the day, and they mix it up. So it's not just the sales manager coming down and cracking the whip on people and telling them how bad they're doing and how they need to do better, but it's maybe highlighting some of the things that people are doing well and letting the sales staff talk to their sales members. That's really key and critical. And then bringing in other departments, because we're all a big family when you really think about it. I mean, that's kind of the thing that we forget, is that we have these pillars of what we do, but ultimately, if we don't all work together, it's not going to benefit the company or the customer.
Right.
So we're looking at the space that B&R has at store number 1, and this is Jeff, this is new, right?
This is new, brand new building.
So, well, I mean, this layout wasn't just a thrown out. I mean, let's look at this. Look at the site, guys. I mean, you've got an open floor plan. You've got these floors in here. You've got desk. It looks nice, right? They took the time to make it look nice. Are you making your company? You may not be able to have the Taj Mahal, but we can always make our things look a little better. I mean, you got to have pride in where you work, and I think this place looks great. And you guys probably put a little bit of. It wasn't just you had You just didn't go one day, hey, I just want to make this up here. Just you had an idea behind it, right?
There was a lot of thought that was put into it. Most of our locations, as probably others that are within the group as well, the salespeople are out back in a space, kind of out of the way in their own cubicle, and oftentimes not a lot of light, sunlight, or a space that they can share with others. And it was decided for us to build this spot into a sales tower where our salespeople had a space that was, they were wanting to be here. There was, daylight coming through the windows. They could decorate it as they wish or put things up on the wall, play music without customers in earshot.
Sure.
It was their location to come up here, be inspired, have a positive environment, and have fun. Sitting at a desk for 8, 9, 10 hours a day, hammering out phone calls, some easy, some hard, as we know.
Oh, yeah.
We wanted them to be in a space that they were excited to come to work at every day. And so stand-up desks were voted upon by most of our salespeople, the ability to kick out their chair, stand up a little bit, stretch their legs, stretch their back, open back desks so that, to prevent any kind of clutter or things hiding off too far.
So you said the sales staff got a chance to actually be part of the decision-making process.
Yeah, it really was. We actually got together.
All right, hold on one second. We got to tell guys, listen, are we including our staff in the decisions we're making that are going to affect how they sell, how they dismantle, how they inventory, how they do all aspects of the business? Because oftentimes, we kind of can operate from an idea of our own office and this is what we think's the best way, but are we really even getting input from our ground level troops, from the guys on the ground? And I think that's something that we miss in business oftentimes, is that we know it's best and that's just the way we're going to do it. So the fact that you guys did that, once again, awesome job, man.
Cool. We allow most of our employees in all departments to create their own space, let us know what tools and things that they need, and we try to provide them within reason to make their job more comfortable and more efficient for them.
Yeah.
So with these desks, they're very basic, but we grabbed a tape measure and asked the guys, stand up, where it's comfortable for you, where do you want your hands? These weren't pre-made; they were a custom built specifically on what our guys wanted. Depths of drawers.
Let's look at them real quick. It's a basic concept. But like I said, the little things can make the big differences, right? Oh, yeah. So you've got a desk. You only need so much desk so that you have your computer screens, your CPUs up here. You've got all the cords are coming through here, so it's not a mess. Let's look at this. You've got the cords. This is a basic concept in any desk, is to have things centrally located, so you can come through here with the cords. And then where are the power? We don't have power strips running across the ground. Where are they going? They're going to the ground, right? So of course you might have a power strip at the ground here, but you don't got cords running off, suspended from the air.
All the way down to pencil drawers.
Yeah, you even have
voted no pencil drawers.
Look, I'm looking for it. I can't find it, right?
They're always broken in your desk, right?
Exactly. And
guys said, get them gone.
It's where you throw all the stuff you don't ever really need. But I think, so the key here is this. Are we asking our people what makes them more efficient? Because when we can ask them what makes them more efficient, it goes to the bottom line. Does it go to the bottom line?
Absolutely.
Yeah, it does. So do that. Think about that when you're replaying an area, when you're looking at how to make things more efficient. Think about bringing more people into the opportunity to input. And ultimately, as a leader, you have to actually make the final call, but you need to get input to make the right call. At B&R, one of the things that they do every time they hit a $1,000 sale is we do what, guys?
We do 10 push-ups.
Let's do this. Let's knock them out. Let's do it. Go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There we go. There we go. Come on, guys. I want in on this too. Come on. There we go. That's what I'm talking about. See, that's how we do it. That's awesome. So Jeff, one of the things that the entire country, the world's dealing with is this pandemic. Believe it or not, it's people are sick.
Sure.
And so it's affecting a lot of areas of our business and operation. How did COVID affect B&R from a sales perspective, I guess I should say?
The first couple weeks were, or month or so was touch and go, a little bit scary.
Sure.
Fortunately, the retail side of business really picked up. A lot of folks at home working on their own vehicles, trying to get their honeydews done that they've put off. And we had done a pretty good job of advertising and staying relevant online. So
advertising and marketing, you leaned into that area, like during the COVID pandemic, the current situation we're in. I'm guessing as well.
Yeah.
Look at this. We're selling parts, guys.
This is what.
Hey, I know that you guys are all watching this in the back of your businesses right now. People are still trying to buy things. So way to go. Way to go. That's making money.
Making it work.
So, yeah.
But yeah, as things shifted to a little bit more retail, where the wholesale market settled down, customers were able to find us, I think, easy. We were already online, social media,
Sure.
SEO, SEM marketing, if you will, and the phone continued to ring. So it bridged that gap of the first 4 weeks or so of fear and concern,
Yeah.
and we were able to make it through, keep most of our employees employed, and everything looked good.
That's great. So during you actually pushed into marketing, and you put resources there that maybe weren't there before. I can say that that's probably not a strong suit for our members. Like, I don't know, you should look at yourself. How much are you marketing? I mean, the internet marketing, social media marketing, SOS, all of those things that, Google, are you actually making headways into driving traffic to your store? For a lot of us, it's our biggest marketing is what we buy, right? We want to push our inventory in and draw the cars in, draw the calls in. We also want to drive the cars in, but we want to get the calls in, and we oftentimes rely on our inventory to do that. But we probably should be really looking at, are we pushing money to marketing? Because that's what's going to make the phone ring, right? And so at any facility, it may not be the same percentage of retail to wholesale. We all love retail because typically it's cash, and typically the returns are minimal, right? Because they've already qualified, they want the part, and they've come here to get it. So one of the things during COVID that a lot of us had to realize, and so being outside of DC with our operation, is that the federal government decided to everybody couldn't come to work. But we moved a lot of our guys into some remote, let them sell from home.
Yeah.
Did B&R go that route, or did you just say, hey guys, wear masks, be safe, feel comfortable at the facility?
We had a couple people that decided to go that route, and typically there are tenured employees. They've been around a long time, and it just made sense for them to stay home, maybe a long commute as well, and work directly from home. Our IT director is very good at setting that stuff up, so it was a seamless transaction for them to, or transition for them to move home and do those things. So we probably have, we might have 8 that work remote, but most of our employees are all in-house, and we're very fortunate to have nearly 500 employees that were all ready, eager to come to work every day. How many did
you say?
Nearly 500.
Okay, I just want to make sure we realize our 10 headaches we have, or 5 headaches. This is not headaches, but joys. 500 joys.
So about 500 across 4 states. Everybody was just awesome, great family.
Yeah.
I mean, B&R is a big family, and everybody wanted to come to work every day and be a part of it and make sure that we were successful during those downtimes.
And that's great. So one thing that sometimes we evaluated, we looked at, all the things that were the changes that were taking place is technology, our networking. You mentioned having an IT person in-house. How many of us are investing in our infrastructure that's networking, technology? I mean, we've got I'm talking to you. I'm talking to everybody out there who just goes, it works, and it works. It's really important to have an infrastructure that is in place that can handle any changes that may come up, or security measures, right? With people trying to hack or do these kind of anything that could disrupt your business. Now, here's a question regarding the remote sales. Just one other question, and it's, I've been to some yards and they have qualifiers. So if you're going to sell remotely from home, you've got to be able to hit a benchmark. Do you guys have any benchmarks in place? Not asking for numbers, but just...
Yeah, I think there's an unspoken benchmark.
Okay,
I think the 8 or so employees that are out there, they aren't not hitting their KPIs. They're longtime wholesalers, been with B&R for 20 plus years, some of them. They know what they're doing. I don't want to say they don't have to be managed, but they build their own business.
Yeah, they're building their own
driven.
business. And so KPIs, I think this is just something to throw out there, guys. Correct me where I'm wrong, Jeff, but guys, are we focusing on our in-stock sales? Are we focusing on our brokered sales? Where are you on your warranties? Where are you on your core charges? Am I missing anything? Those are the big tickets.
We track it down to how many phone calls you take a day versus
how about incoming versus outgoing? How about incoming versus outgoing calls?
We track it all, dialed and answered, invoices to quotes, you name it. We want to look at it at every different direction. That way we can help our salespeople become successful and know where they might be missing a few bucks. And it's for their success. We want them to have an income and build a business for themselves.
We're taking care of their family, right?
That's right.
So you've got 500 employees, but really, you've got 3,500 people that are depending on B&R.
Yeah.
When you guys look at your numbers of employees, it's not the people who come to work that you're also supporting. I mean, you're also supporting their families. It's who lives with them. It's who's dependent on you being open for business. And, one of the things we talked about technology, but tracking those calls. I mean, how many of us really look at the numbers regarding how many calls our salespeople are making out?
Right.
Right, because we're hoping they're just going to call us in, but we have to also track those leads
We're
down.
dialing for dollars.
Here we go. I don't know. I see it on the commercials all the time. You know,
Yeah.
I think those are the fundraisers, like
Yeah.
you know, whoever. But this is all just stuff that if you're not doing it, let's figure out how to lean into these areas for sales, because your sales staff, it helps them, it helps the company, right? If it's not helping B&R, it doesn't help the salesperson. If it's not helping the salesperson, it's not helping B&R.
Right.
It's completely all connected. Hey guys, well that's going to wrap up the sales portion of this tour today. And tomorrow we're going to be moving into some other stuff, which is going to be exciting. We look forward to seeing you tomorrow.